welcome to the JJDrones Memorial Day special. Please stand and remove your hats while we play our country's national anthem. Now for a moment of silence.
The willingness of some to give their lives so that others might live never fails to evoke in us a sense of wonder and mystery. In America's cities and towns today, flags will be placed on graves in cemeteries. Public officials will speak of the sacrifice and the valor of those whose memory we honor. In 1863, when he dedicated a small cemetery in Pennsylvania marking a terrible collision between the armies of North and South, Abraham Lincoln noted the swift obscurity of such speeches. But we know now that Lincoln was wrong about that particular occasion. His remarks commemorating those who gave their last full measure of devotion were long remembered. But since that moment at Gettysburg, few other such addresses have become part of our national heritage. Not because of the inadequacy of the speakers, but because of the inadequacy of words.
Memorial Day 2022. Yes, we are here. It's the unofficial start of the summer season. But that's not what Memorial Day is all about. Memorial Day is about the soldiers that went and fought and died for this country. It's for the heroism. It's for being afraid but still doing the right thing anyway. Memorial Day is a day of remembrance. It's a day that we can go and we can show our appreciation for those that went before us. There's so many soldiers that we've lost over the years. From the Civil War to World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and every war after that. Millions and millions of lives lost. But they didn't die in vain. These soldiers went out there and they protected our freedom so we can live the lives that we live today. Now, Memorial Day wasn't always called Memorial Day. No, it originally started out after the Civil War. It started out as a holiday called Decoration Day and it started back in 1868. In fact, the Major General of the Union Army during the Civil War, John Alexander Logan, was the first to issue the proclamation to decorate all of the graves of Civil War dead annually, both Union and Confederate soldiers. He set it for May 30th, not the last Monday of the month of May, so that people can get together and have a barbecue. No. He set it for May 30th because it wasn't an anniversary of any major battle during the Civil War. And he also knew that that time of year, flowers were going to be in bloom all over the country. And with Decoration Day, they would go out and they would clean off the headstones and they would plant flowers as a show of respect for the soldiers who died before them. On the first Decoration Day, 183 cemeteries in 27 states participated. After World War I, they changed the meaning of Decoration Day from not only the Civil War dead, but all of the dead that had risked and given their lives for the cause of freedom. After World War II, the name was more recognized, what we call today as Memorial Day. In 1968, they passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which changed the day to what it is now, where it is the last Monday in the month of May. And that was done so that federal employees would get a 3-day weekend. I mean, it was a controversial thing at the time, and it's still a controversial thing now. Because Memorial Day isn't about having a 3-day weekend. Now, when I was a kid, I was in the marching band. And we would go out and we would do the parade down the main street in our town. And then after the parade, we would sit in front of the courthouse and listen to the speeches there, and we'd whine and complain because we didn't want to stand out in the heat. And then we would go to the cemetery down not too far from my house. And then we would stand there and listen to more speeches. And, you know, by the time that everything was said and done, we just wanted to go home, get into our swimsuits, and go to the lake. That was the time that we started camping. That was the time that we got together and had a barbecue. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting together with family members, because it is all about family, the American family. The soldiers that went out and gave their lives for each and every one of us to have our freedoms, that is true love. That is love for country. That is love for you and for me, because they don't have to do that. We don't have a draft anymore. We don't. We have an all-volunteer military. And these men and women that go overseas and fight these wars for us so that we can stay the country that we are, they do it because they feel deep in their gut that it's the right thing to do. So the least that we can do on this Memorial Day is go to a cemetery and clean off the headstones of some of the people that are buried in the cemetery, or plant flowers. Whatever needs to be done. Maybe it's even just going out and picking up trash in the cemetery. But these men and women laid down their lives for you and for me. I hope you all have a great Memorial Day weekend, and God bless you all. Hey everybody, and welcome to the stream. I'm going to confess that I barely made it in here. Today has been a fun day. I am in an undisclosed location, and I got to meet up with Dan from Droning Veteran. So Dan, I know that you are watching and listening with your wife on your way back home, and I appreciate you. So we had a good time together, and it's always good to go out and fly the drones, especially when you have no content to edit. So that's where I was, and let me just say thank you all for watching the first portion of this Memorial Day special. Memorial Day is a holiday that's important to me because my grandparents were in the military, and then I've had multiple uncles and cousins in the military, some that are still serving now. Hey, Ted, welcome in. Appreciate you for coming in. So let's just start off by welcoming people that are here. We've got Cody, which is Hogdeer79. We've got Yanni, and then we've got Ted from Off the Hook Outdoors. We've got Bob, which is Time to Get Going. And then we've got Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. We have E.T. Travel Freely, because he is great to show up on every live stream. And then we've got Woman Outdoors. And we've got, I think I said Yads, but if I didn't, Yads is in here. And then we've got, let's see here, who else? We got Johnny Mack and Chris Wedgeworth. And I know that I'm probably missing some people, but thank you all for coming in. I really do appreciate it. So you're going to have to excuse me because I'm still a little bit winded. We went down into this little, I don't even know what you call it, like a ravine, and it was great on the way down, but on the way back, not so great. I'm still recovering. So thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. And also, Woman Outdoors, thank you so much. I mean, I did spend until about 5:30 in the morning Central Time this morning putting that together. So it was great that you guys enjoyed it. My dad gave me a whole bunch of stuff that I could have shared today, and I haven't had time to even go through a fraction of it. My grandmother has a very, very interesting life. She was in the Air Force, and she was on the dive team. I believe my dad can correct me if he's listening, but I believe she was on the Olympic dive team. She was also in the orchestra. She was also assistant to President Eisenhower. So it was, she had just an amazing life. And through my grandparents, I learned, hi, how are you doing, Mom? Glad to see you in here too. Because I know Dad was in here earlier. Whew. Sorry. Just need to catch my breath here for a minute. And yes, connect with the links that Bob is dropping out there, because every one of these channels are great people. And for one, without you guys, I wouldn't even have this, okay? And then for 2, I try and visit all of your channels, and I don't always get a chance. Hang on, I gotta turn the fan on. I don't always get a chance to make it to all of your channels, but I try to do the best that I can on a pretty regular basis. Now, before we go much further, I need to go through and remind people to go to JJDrones360.com. That is where you can read some of my vlogs. You can see the channel that I put up as a spotlight for the week. And the video that I had spotlighted this week was from Jenny and Steve from Stormy Sky Real Productions. And they actually came out to the Truck Driving Championship last weekend. And they came out to see what it was all about. And I think they walked away having a very positive experience. And I was glad to show them around. So check out that video. And they're only like 20 or 30 subscribers away from hitting 1,000 subscribers. So if anybody is not subscribed to Stormy Sky Real Productions and you find it in your heart to do so, please go over there and subscribe to their channel. They're great people, and I'd love to see them monetized. Next, if you want to have your video featured on my website, email me, jason@jjdrones360.com. I will run your video on my website from Sunday to Sunday. And then after that, if somebody else has emailed me, I will spotlight their video, so on and so forth. Don't be afraid to email me because, you know, I go out there and I ask people too, if I can't get anybody to email me, you know, a link to their video. If you really want to have your video put out there, don't be afraid to send it to me in an email because it does bring traffic to your site. People do use my website. I have about 6,000 visitors to my website per month. So give it a chance. See what happens. The next thing, I kind of dropped the entire Buy Me a Coffee thing. If anybody is interested in helping to financially help this channel, my PayPal is right there, jjoe32@gmail.com. And then we've got the call-in number, 608-515-8546. Anybody wants to call in today? Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about Memorial Day. We're going to talk about some great memories that you've had from previous Memorial Days. And, sorry, I have something to read here. Okay, so my grandmother was General Eisenhower and Harmon's traveling secretary. She was moved to the Army after testing tops in the country on the secretary exam. Okay, well, there's the answer for that. Thank you, Bob, for putting that out there. I really appreciate that. Hey, JA's Outdoors, how you doing? It is good to see you too. Let's see here. And then Haley says he sincerely spends all his free time on everyone else's channels watching all the newest videos. Not all of my free time. Some of my free time is done editing my own videos. You know? And Ted from Off the Hook Outdoors, you know I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Ted. I do appreciate that. If people don't know, I've become Off the Hook Outdoors secret. What would you call it, Ted? Like technical support. Only I'm here in the U.S. and he can call me anytime. And yes, Bob, I know I have to get out there and do more moving around, especially this year. Or not this year, but especially now that the weather is better. And just so you know, I'm going to be coming down to Ontario tomorrow. And I don't know what you have planned for tomorrow, but I'll email you and let you know what time I plan on being there tomorrow, and see if we can possibly do something. And then Woman Outdoors, I need to get a drink. I got a boatload. I sure do. Well, yeah, Ted, we're not going to tell everybody that, I'm I'm your full tech support. Got to keep it a secret. I mean, I just told it to, between you and me over here, right? Nobody else is going to know that. Johnny Mac. I don't suffer through your videos. Everybody, if you haven't gone to Johnny Mac's channel, go to his channel after the live stream. You will not regret it. He does some really good drone footage, and his drone camera, or the drones that he uses, the cameras on them are just amazing. So check out his videos. And Off the Hook Outdoors, he's very, very close to monetization. I mean, I don't know the number. The last time it was, maybe 100 or so, as far as what he needs for monetization. So, if you can, go check out one of his playlists, play one of his playlists, check out some of his live streams. The live stream that he did the other day, he had all of his kids out on the dock fishing. Well, kids and niece and nephew. And it was just great to watch them. And then Hog Deer, I need to go watch his video because somehow he seems to think that he can fish. So I need to see that. He can also do pull-ups. And I can tell you right now, Cody, you're making all of us look bad. That's perfect, Dan. Exactly. That's exactly what I was doing. And then we've got awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for subscribing over there to Stormy Sky Rail Productions. I really do appreciate that. Oh, I know you can fish at JA's Outdoors, but the question that Cody put on his, the thumbnail was, "Can I fish?" or something of that nature. And, I didn't doubt that he could fish. I really didn't. Thank you, Brittany Lake. I really appreciate you coming in. Let's see here. Woman Outdoors. I didn't get a chance to watch that yet, Ted, but I work all weekend, so there you go. There you go, Ted. You got another viewer right there. Well, I can tell you right now, Cody. I can tell you right now that I have the ultimate teaser. Not coming on Wednesday, but the following Wednesday when my video comes out, I'm going to have the ultimate teaser at the beginning of my video. And I cannot wait to put that video together. I mean, we just shot it today. It's going to be fantastic. Cody did not show us his 20 pull-ups. I'm disappointed. I told him not to, Woman Outdoors. I told him not to. I said he's making us all look bad. That's awesome, JAs. And tell Brandon I said hi. It's so good to have some people from around town watching the live stream. Let's see here. You're right. You're right, Dan. You have to keep your lips sealed. You signed that NDA. So, I'm watching you, bud. Sorry, I keep on for hitting the cough button. See, even Woman Outdoors agrees with me, Cody. You can't do the 20 pull-ups. You can't do it. Okay, Woman Outdoors, no problem. Bob does pull downs. Too old for pull-ups. Well, okay, you said ups, not pull-ups. Because I could have said, depending on the different context, you could be doing pull-ups or using pull-ups if the older you get. You just never know. So, like I said, every year for Memorial Day, we would go out and we had probably like a it was a really, really small parade that we would do in town. And then it would go from one stretch of downtown to the other stretch of downtown, which was, I wouldn't even say 2 miles, maybe 1.5 miles. And then we'd sit there at the courthouse and everybody would do their speeches. And I don't know, there was just no, it didn't really seem like the interest was there. And so many people get Veterans Day and Memorial Day mixed up. In fact, we had a politician tweet out something the other day, basically thanking the veterans on Memorial Day. And yeah, we should always thank the veterans. That's not an issue. I thank the veterans every chance I get. In fact, I was very grateful to Dan for coming and getting me. And, I thanked him before he left. Our veterans are our heroes. But the people that don't make it back, this is their weekend. So I'm not sure if anybody is going to do so. But, if you're going to go to a cemetery tomorrow and either clean up a gravestone or leave flowers or a wreath for somebody, please leave it in the comments. I want to spotlight you. I want to spotlight your channel. Even if I have to, I will put, if you can, do a video of you guys doing it, and I will put it on my website. I will put it on my website, and I'll put it on my Facebook. And if I have to, I'll find a way to put it on my YouTube, because it's that important to me. That's why I did the special, and that's why I did the tributes at the beginning of the show. So, if anybody has any favorite Memorial Day weekend stories that they want to tell, feel free to let me know, and either give me a call on the call-in line, or I will bring you up. Not on Chris's couch, Dan. Let's see. Oh yeah. It all matters, JA's Outdoors. It all matters. So, let's see here. Does anybody have any stories they'd like to tell? I was making sure my phone is turned on. And it is. Hang on. I can't even get my phone to unlock these days. Okay, we're still good. Let's see here. Let's put this. That. All right. If anybody would like to come up and chat with me and up here, we're going to do it one at a time. In the event I get multiple people. But Dan, if you're home, you should come up here. Let's see here. Yeah, Chris Wedgeworth. Let me just tell you about Chris. Chris has been here with my channel pretty much from the beginning. So when I started doing live streams, the first thing that was a no-brainer was making him a moderator. Now, Chris, not only is he a moderator here, he's a moderator for I don't know how many channels. Plus, he's a truck mechanic, and he's got a lovely wife and some kids. So, I mean, he's a busy man. But, Chris, I appreciate you coming in here every week and doing the moderator thing. Oh, great. We're going to have Dan coming up here. One of the great guys. And then let's see here. My fingers are too tired. Oh, my fingers are tired too? Or are you talking to somebody else? I missed that whole conversation. Oh, about my phone screen not unlocking. Yeah. Every part of me is pretty much exhausted. But no, I had a really good time. The only bad part about driving on Memorial Day weekend is the traffic. Because when I left Wisconsin, just driving around Madison, it was a nightmare. That's the only way you can describe it. So I lost about an hour in traffic just trying to get around Madison. Let's see, travel freely, Bob. He has his legs up on the desk and the keyboard in his lap. And E.T. Travel Freely says he has a Dodge truck. Needs repairing. Chris, we're gonna have to get you a plane ticket and a passport if you don't have a passport ready to go. Right? But E.T. Travel Freely, if he comes over there to fix your Dodge truck, I'm pretty sure that the travel cost in itself is going to... you might as well just buy a new truck. Chris doesn't travel cheap. You got to get him a limo. Oh, yes, Yanni, I don't disagree with you. I watched your video of going to the beach with no GPS. And that's, I mean, just the way that people drive in the Philippines, I almost have to go there to experience it, because my good friend Paul, that has been on the channel here with me before, he married a woman from the Philippines, and he flew to the Philippines to get married to her. And while he was there, he never mentioned anything about the traffic. I think they walked pretty much anywhere that they went. But I think I would have to experience myself just to know how absolutely horrible it is. But just looking at it, it makes me cringe. I don't think I would want to drive there. Definitely not the big trucks that you guys have down there. Jason, that truck that truck's a vintage. Oh, really? I did not know that. So is it better in the country than Yanni? Well, that's kind of weird, because I'm thinking that my dad is typing on my stepmom's profile, because he says, talk to mom. She lived there for 2 years. Well, I'm more than happy to talk to her. All she's got to do is call in. But yeah, Dan's going to be coming up here in a minute. And I was just going back through the chat and making sure that I wasn't forgetting anybody, because I definitely don't want to leave anyone out. And then this Wednesday's video, you're going to get some good self-deprecating humor. The entire video is just going to be one big joke. I will wait here before I go. You know what? Talking about CB radios, I watched Ken talking about CB radios on his member-only stream. And he made a very valid point. Nobody uses the CBs anymore, and that does cause problems, especially in the wintertime. And I'm glad that you liked jokes, Cody, because the joke is on me on my next video, and I purposefully did it that way because, well, you already know if you've seen the sneak peek of the intro to my next video. I have zero mechanical ability. Going to play with the grandkids. Have a great weekend, Chris. I really appreciate you. Itchy ear. I really appreciate you coming in and doing the moderator thing. But definitely go out and enjoy your grandkids. And his grandkids like to do shorts. So, and they're actually pretty funny. Yes, the FCC well, they still do control CBs. Just not to the extent that they used to. Johnny Mac has an old Midland CB, but nobody worth listening to. Well, that's why you have live streams on YouTube, because that's the new social media. Well, the CBs were the old social media. I do, Dan. let's see here. There you go, Dan. There's the link. But yeah, CBs were the original social media. People would go out, and I still remember my dad having a CB in his pickup and then going out at night and then just talking on the CB on the skip to whoever would listen. Usually talk to people from Texas or Oklahoma, whoever was out there. I was just amazed the reach that I'd get. It's just like AM radio. When I used to drive back and forth to work when I was driving in Goodman, Wisconsin, I used to listen to Art Bell, Coast to Coast, late at night. And I would get it from the big flamethrower out of Cleveland, Ohio. And now, before we go too much further here, I'm going to add Dan, the droning veteran. Welcome, Dan.
Hey,
How you
Jason.
doing?
How are you doing? Long time no see, huh?
I know I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
I've got you.
Okay, cool. So, what does Memorial Day mean to you?
Memorial Day is it's a special day. We remember our fallen. And you was talking about asking for a story, and my story isn't on Memorial Day per se. Just a second. There I am. Not Memorial Day. This didn't happen to me on Memorial Day, but this is what I went to. We was in Hawaii for a field problem in January. I was stationed in Alaska, so you can imagine how happy we was to be there. But the day before we left Hawaii, we got to spend a half a day at the USS Arizona Memorial.
Right.
And this is back in 2000. And it was at that moment that I realized the reason for what I did, or the reason for what I was doing. And that day's always stuck true to my heart, I guess.
Right. And that's, that's a powerful place to go.
That it is. And I mean, I've lost so many friends, both in combat and, I've had friends that we did a deployment and they made it home from the deployment, but shortly after, accident or whatnot. But
do you still have a lot of friends that you served with over there?
I do. I have quite a few.
Yeah, that's good.
Some we stay in touch pretty close. Others, here and there, but.
Right. Well, the one thing that, the one reason that I wanted you on is because, for one, as like I told you as you were dropping me off, I thank you and I appreciate you for what you've done, for your service. And that's not the reason, that I wanted you up here. The reason that I wanted you up here is to basically explain that I probably almost died on my way back up the hill.
Oh, yes. And you're lucky. I tried. He made a promise. Jason made a promise on the way down, and I tried, but his promise, I guess you could say, spared you.
Right. It was not pretty.
But it was fun, though.
Right? Yeah, I got to try the DJI, as Ken would call it, the DJI POS, but It's actually a pretty decent drone. I got to try flying it with the goggles, and I didn't do it for very long. Because well, I don't want to break your drone.
I wasn't worried.
Let's see here. Johnny Mac says, these amazing and brave heroes we owe our freedom to forever. Absolutely, 100%. And Bob says, yes, I was there. So touching. I was stationed there from 72 through 76. Last draft for Vietnam. That's, you know, and the memorials like that, they affect people like you, Dan, more than, people like me that have we didn't serve at all. I couldn't pass, the physical requirements to begin with, but you guys go out there and you put in your blood, sweat, and tears, literally. So, what does going to a memorial like that mean to somebody, that's been deployed?
I mean, it's hard to put into words, but it's a great feeling, I guess. Sometimes it's hard because it brings back memories of different things, but
right.
I mean, yeah, I still, there's days that I struggle. You wonder what I did to make it home to be with my wife and kids when somebody else didn't. And I think that's one of the hardest things. That's one of my biggest struggles every day, because there's more than one time that I don't know how I walked away.
Well, and I'm thankful to God that you did make it, back, because you have become a very dear friend to me. And you have an entire community here back behind you that is willing to stand up and support you in any way possible. So, any of those days that, it's hard for you to, it's just hard to function. We've all got your back, and you have my phone number, and you can always use it whenever you want.
I do, and I appreciate it.
Who's your little buddy there? I haven't met him.
That's Choo Choo. Come here, you little Choo Choo.
Hey, Choo Choo.
He likes to come up.
I haven't met you yet.
No, not yet. Oh, he wanted to. Trust me. He was part of the reason we was late. We was chasing him around the car.
Now, my dad has a dog, and whenever my dad takes his dog out to go for a ride in the truck, that dog wants to be in the passenger seat, and they have to pretty much coax her to go into the back. Bob wants to know what's on the Traeger.
Nothing at the moment. We might try and do a smoked salmon tonight, maybe.
Smoked salmon. So there's your short that you were talking about.
Yes. If it goes through.
Yeah, right. Johnny Mac says, have to go. Sorry, almost midnight here. Work tomorrow. Great show as always.
Have a great
Thank you, Johnny Mac. Appreciate you coming in. Especially the fact that you're over there in Ireland, and man, it is just an honor to have people that'll stay up to midnight to watch my show.
Well, that's because you put out such great content.
Well, I appreciate that. And sometimes it's, let's just put it this way. YouTube can be the biggest high, and it could be the biggest low of your day, because there's sometimes that you think, man, I've got this great content, I'm going to put it out there and everybody's going to love it. And then on the other hand, you get the videos where it's just, you think it does well and then it just flops. You know what I mean? So
yep, I do.
Let's see here. my stepmom's account that sounds like my dad says that you need a Blackstone. No, he's got a Traeger. He's smoking stuff. He doesn't need a Blackstone. His wife already wanted to decapitate me for showing all the fun toys that I had. And
my
Yanni,
pocketbook getting smaller.
yeah, right. Yanni says, droning veteran, giving support. And I think that he already took off. I don't know where he's at in Ireland. And your wife says it will go through. I think she means the payment for your brand new drone. That's what she was talking about, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's the DJI microphone that you're going to be getting. Payment went through.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, Yanni is a good supporter. She is definitely a great supporter. All the people that are here overseas that are watching this video right now, I know that is late at night, and I do greatly appreciate you being on the show. Or not being on the show, but being here watching the show. So what do you have lined up next in your video repertoire there, Dan?
Well, my next video is it's a part 2 to a previous one, I guess. Flying the DJI POS, but it was the next flight after I almost I was coming up. I was going to try and hit a gap, and then I realized that I was on track for a big rock.
Oh,
But I avoided it, as you've seen. Cause
yep.
You flew it today.
Yeah, it was all in one piece.
All in one piece. And that's going to be the next one. And then I have a couple from our, we went to Moab a couple weeks ago, as you know.
Yep.
So I got a couple videos coming up from that. And then from what we did tonight, or this afternoon.
Yep. Well, you see, if you have, I'm pretty sure pretty much everyone that's left here right now is a supporter of yours. But for anybody that is not watching right now, that watches the replay, check out Dan on his YouTube channel, Droning Veteran, because for one, he's a great guy. You know,
I appreciate that.
He's always giving me a good pick me up when I need it, and sometimes, you know, that's what you need, and sometimes he sends you pictures of things that you can never unsee.
Nope, never. I warned you. I warned you.
You did warn me. But he has a great channel. He's got DJI FPV. He's got the Mavic 2 Zoom, and a couple of other drones that his wife says that you need to sell. So, you know.
Yes.
But no, we had a lot of fun together today. We did do a collaboration for my next video, and hopefully you got some footage of your own for your next video, which I know you did because you were flying around the same time I was. So
yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm so thankful that the weather turned out the way it did.
Right. Well, just a little bit of a explanation on that too. The last time that I came here, it was back in what was it, around December or something like that, or January? I don't remember. But
yeah, it wasn't too long ago. I mean, what was it? Well, it might have been. Yeah, it was February, March, I think.
So I showed up, and I wasn't feeling the best, but they still came and dragged my butt out of the truck to go have dinner. And so we went and had dinner, and it was just downpouring as soon as I got or no, it was sprinkling when we went into the restaurant, and then when we left the restaurant, it was downpouring. So today we went out and we weren't sure what the weather was going to do. It was sprinkling from time to time, and then after that, we got into the car, went to go have dinner, and as soon as we got to the restaurant, it was sprinkling again. And then after we got done, or after we ordered our food, it was just downpouring. And by the time that we left the restaurant, it was downpouring still. And
wet by the time we got to the car.
Yep. And he talk about a great truck driver. This guy got me here 5 minutes before the live stream, and then grabbed all of my stuff out of the truck so that I could set up the laptop and everything else. So he was a great help with that today. He was a great help for, bringing me out to do some videos so that I've got content for next week, and just a great friend. So thank you, Dan. I really do appreciate
you're welcome. That. Appreciate you. And I even gave you a detour.
You did.
Tour.
Yeah, we got to see
Tourist.
all of the bad, all of the mean streets of Salt Lake City, Utah. Let's see here. We got Explorer with Drew says, "Hey Bob." We got, I hope I'm saying this right. Rayrika channel. Good morning, Mr. JJ. Good to see you. Have a blessed morning, Monday to you guys. And then Yanni says hello to Drew. Drew, your Alaska videos are fantastic. Keep those coming, because I may want to go to Alaska, even though Dan doesn't like Alaska. Don't tell anybody. It's not like this is the internet and a whole bunch of people.
I've never been to the part that Drew has stopped by, and his last video.
Yep.
I think it was the last one with the tram.
Yeah, the tram going up to the top of the mountain. Yeah.
Oh, love
that. Was great. So if you're not subscribed to Explore with Drew, make sure that you go and subscribe to Explore with Drew. Dan, I appreciate you coming up here. Don't make it the only time, okay?
Sure.
We're hitting the hour mark, and
you got some driving to do, so you be safe.
I do have driving to do, so I'm gonna close this out as soon as I say goodbye. So
all right, well, I'll get out of here. Goodbye, everybody in the chat. Appreciate the support. Thank you, JJ, for an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely, sir.
All right.
Bye. All right. So that was my Memorial Day special. I hope everybody that is here enjoyed it. Drew, let's see here. Oh yeah, he would change his mind, I'm sure. Goodbye, everybody that's still here. We got Drew, Yanni, Bob from Time to Get Going. I think I said Yanni already. Rayrika. I'm sure that my dad and stepmom are still here, so thank you for being here. And everybody, thank you for coming to my Memorial Day special. Next week, you can expect to have Carl back on. We're going to be talking jobs that do not require a college education. That is next week on the JJDrones live show. Thank you all much for coming. Okay, let's see here. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. And I appreciate y'all coming along this ride with me, and we'll see you later on down the road. Bye-bye.